There's this buzzword that has been out in the self-improvement space for a few years now, and I'm sure you've heard of it. It's called monk mode. Now, at face value, it sounds like another cliche term that everybody uses, but I decided to take it serious and give it a try. And I knew that as fun as my current lifestyle was at the time, it would keep me average if I continued down that path. So I turned to monk mode and I locked in for 6 months. No parties, no dates, no breaks. And what happened was that I completely changed my whole life trajectory, and I could never go back to where I used to be after experiencing where I am right now. And honestly, my worst day now is my best day back then. So let's talk about it. So first of all, what is monk mode? So monk mode is a period of complete undivided focus on your personal self-mastery where you ruthlessly cut out any distractions that isn't moving you closer to your goals. So most people, they like to use this for financial goals, but other people use this stuff for fitness as well. And we see this in something called 75 Hard, which I'm sure you've heard of it, where people basically lock in daily on their goals to achieve their dream physique by doing 2 workouts even sometimes in a day for 75 days. So this monk mode period, it can last as short as 1 month and all the way as long as 1 year. But me personally, I believe for somebody to see any significant amount of change, the least that you should want to do is 90 days locked in if you're really serious about changing your life. So here's the problem with why monk mode becomes necessary, or what striving for success without monk mode is. It's like there's too many distractions, first of all, from outside opinions, from people having access to you, and you basically don't have the silence and the clarity needed to make your best decisions. You got all this stuff coming at you a million miles an hour, and if you're never sitting down and having that silence and isolating yourself for at least a moment, you can't talk to yourself. God can't talk to you, and you're just overexposed because you're in this constant dopamine loop and you're drained more than you realize. Even music, I had to even cut that out while working out. Long story short, like I just said, this scatters your energy, this divides your focus, and it overstimulates you to where the little time that you do have for yourself at the end of all of this, when you finally come home and you decide that you're going to try to devote this time and focus to your goals and you're not making it a priority, you're drained, bro. You're tired. You're sleepy. You're falling asleep at your desk. The work is boring to you because you could be out partying and drinking and having a fun time celebrating failure. But you trained yourself that this lifestyle is what you're looking forward to more so than coming home and doing the hard work. But when you flip the script, you start to see doing the hard work as the reward and doing everything else as just taking time away from what you could be spending working on yourself. So this is why monk mode is so vital, because it flips that in your head. It flips that switch and it trains you to do the things that most people or even yourself would usually hate. And like I said, you can't really hear your own intuition and your own thoughts with clarity when everything else is so loud. It's not that any of this is inherently wrong. It's just that if it's not where you want to be and it's not going to get you further to that goal, then all it is doing you is harm and it's slowing you down. So it's not that this lifestyle is wrong and that people who do these things and stay out late and go to these parties and go on all these dates and scroll on the phone, it's not that it's inherently a good or a bad, but that's the lifestyle they choose. And if they want to be in the same position next year as they were this year, then they can continue to do these things. But if you want to be better next year than you are this year and then you were last year, and you just wanted to continue to compound on itself, you have to understand you need to take a step away. And it's as simple as that. It's as simple as removing distractions. Monk mode is not about becoming extreme and this hermit or this person that's just isolating yourself from everybody else forever. It's just about a moment where you're finally removing the things that have been diluting you and stealing your clarity. So let's talk about point number 2, is what actually changed during these 6 months and what will actually change for you, right? The main thing about this is it's a whole identity shift. It's not productivity hacks. The way I see myself was cemented in these 6 months. I went from becoming somebody who wanted to wake up early, who wanted to stay consistent, to if I don't do that, I don't feel like I'm in alignment with myself, and it feels weird almost. Even on the bad days, I understand how to keep pushing and keep staying focused on the goal because I understand that it's a wave passing through. It's an energy that's in motion, emotion, right? And so my clarity returned, right? No noise, my decisions became obvious, and I didn't have to spend as much time thinking as I did executing. So a lot of times we overthink stuff and we want to know what's the best way, how to get here. And it's just like we're crippled by analysis paralysis. When you have nothing stopping you and you actually have the clarity, then you can execute. And you understand things like, even if you don't know what you're doing, then you'll figure it out along the way. And so you stop second guessing everything and you just take a risk. Now, of course, it's a calculated one, but nonetheless, it moves you forward because you're making moves, you're taking action. Now, the second big thing about this is that your self-respect compounds. You begin to start keeping promises for yourself, to yourself, and confidence comes from alignment, not ego. So by you sticking to your word and doing what you say you want to do, you build trust in yourself. You build confidence in yourself. Confide means to trust. And so you build that because you know that you're the man that you say you are and you think you are. And when you look in the mirror, that's who you want to be. And so you want to just be more like yourself. And being this locked in, you're on your fitness, you're getting your money up. You can't lose. Nobody's stopping you because you've ruthlessly cut up all distractions. You become more magnetic. All of this starts to help you see yourself in the light that other people actually see you in. It's a revolving loop because they see you as more because you see yourself as more. And then you see yourself as more because they see you as more, right? This is why it's so powerful, because you start to build that cycle and you start to build that aura, and everything in your life is just what this next thing is point number 3, which is momentum. So momentum is one of those hidden things, right? It's very powerful. And like I said before in my past videos, it's hard to get, but it's easy to break. This is what happens. Like, your momentum stops breaking. You stop resetting every week. You stop going hard this week and then thinking that you can celebrate early, and then you take a week off, or you stop for a few days and that starts to bleed in. Well, maybe I could take another day and another day. No, it's none of that. You're not going hard on the weekends, and then when it comes Friday night, you're going out, staying up too late. Now you feel off for the next few days because you're hungover, or your sleep is off, or you're skipping the gym and you skipped your breakfast. And so now your food routine, it's none of that, right? Your progress is starting to stack on top of each other, time after time, day after day, month after month. And so that creates more freedom because you already know what's coming for the day. It's so easy, and you start to enjoy it because you enjoy the simplicity of no outside noise, and you would have your own paradigm, right? Everybody else is going through this chaos and they're rushing to get to this place or that place, and they can't think past a moment because they're so stressed out. But you're calm, you're peaceful, you know what's coming, your life is in control, right? And you become a master of your own self. And people start asking you, man, what are you doing? Like, what happened? Like, how did you go from not having any success or any goals to now you're starting to blow up, you're on the come up? And you can start to tell them that nothing magical happened. It wasn't no secret. It was no technique. I just stopped interrupting my own momentum. I basically just stayed consistent day in and day out. I did the boring things that people don't want to do, that they start avoiding. And it's never any secret. It never has been any secret. It's just tolerating the basic, the mundane that will make you great and legendary. Kobe didn't get to the level that he got to of brute force and brute willpower by constantly changing things up and trying to make the most complicated crossovers and all these elaborate dunks and shots. No, he mastered the simple things. He did a move 1,000 times, 10,000 times. Wake up early, started it before anybody else, so that way he was hours ahead of them every day. And those hours started lapping him and getting more and more and more. He was saying at one point, if I trained and I started getting into the gym, and this is like me paraphrasing, and I'm probably finna butcher this quote, right? But he says, if I'm training 3 hours before you each day, then after a year, I will be months ahead of you in the time that I've trained. And after a few years, you're never catching up, bro. So if you can wake up and start getting on that stuff early, you're gonna be miles ahead of your peers. And it's not even just about your peers because you're running your own race, but you can use this as a gauge. This is Drake with his music, right? I know these are worldly examples, but let's talk about a biblical example of Jesus, man. I admire Jesus, how he never had an off day. He never missed the mark. He never sinned. Sin is to miss the mark. As bad as it got, as hungry as he had been in the desert when Satan was testing him, like, look over all of this, over the hills, and this could all be yours in your possession. If you turn from your Father in heaven and you worship and you glorify me here on earth, I'll give you all these worldly possessions. Now, in that moment, he could have folded. This is a man that hadn't eaten in 40 days and 40 nights, fasted, weak, dying for a breadcrumb, still said no. And it was nothing magical. It was just the fact that he never let anything break his momentum. He never let anything take him off his game ruthlessly. We've talked about monk mode, the theory of it and everything about how it works and what it looks like. And it's a real simple process, right? Well, I want you to understand how to use monk mode the right way and what it really is. So it's discipline systems is basically all it is. It's not just about isolation or being your own person in the sense of you're so hyper independent from the world. Now, this is a byproduct of what comes with cutting out distractions and having discipline and gaining clarity. But monk mode is not about hiding from life and its struggles and trying to make your own paradise free of any problems, because there's no way to avoid it. It comes with life. You have the good to the bad, okay? It's always going to be this way. It's not about hating women and doing away with relationships because you feel like that's only a distraction. Now, some men do better this way with no relationships, but it's not about becoming this red pill misogynist and women are only there to steal your power and drain your energy. And no, that's not what this is about, brother. It's not about becoming antisocial. There's still ways to have social circles and be involved while you're in monk mode, or just be in those social environments like the gym. Just being around. Sometimes you don't even have to go out and like participate in all these things that people invite you to just for the sake of being friendly. But if you get a workout session in, or you say what's up to your homie in the gym, you know, that keeps you grounded. This type of stuff, man. Like just walking outside, on the beach. It's different ways to still be in environments and still be socially calibrated without fully becoming closed off and antisocial, right? So what you want to do is, when you're in monk mode, you're focused on removing rather than adding, condensing your inputs to the few things that you know are going to move you the most forward. Stop delaying those tasks that you have in a to-do list that you've never gotten to, that you know will change your life or push you forward. Start reserving your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Get structured. Design your environment. Design your apartment or your house or your room if you still live with your parents, or if you live with your roommates, or whatever living situation you got. Design it and structure it in a way where you walk in, you're inspired to do that work. You understand that this is go time, that this is the moment that you need, right? That this is what's going to help you push you towards your goals. And you look at it and you see, okay, it's time to work. It's time to lock in. I'm ready for this. And I can make another video separately on how environment plays a role in your success and your focus. Because if you come into this chaotic room, everything's all over the place. Your mind is scattered when you look in, but if it's structured and it's ordered, you see structure, you see order, you can focus, you can walk in with clarity and understand, okay, even when you look in a different place, like you get a certain vibe from it based on how it's set up. If it's all colorful, that gives you a different vibe, like a classroom with kids versus just black walls and gray walls, right? It's a lot of things nuances in psychology that manipulates our mind waves more than we think. Limit social access to where you're not always there for things that aren't going to help you, right? People invite you to these things and they want you to hang out, and it's fun to have a good time, but for a moment, like, you have to put all that stuff away. It should just be, for your monk mode, it should just be gym, work, and home. You're playing a long game. You're practicing delayed gratification. It's painful. It hurts, but nothing worth having comes easy. When has something that you ever truly really value come with no effort? If you didn't have to put any skin in the game for it, you're not ever going to really truly value this thing as much. It's not to say that you won't value it, but you'll never value a free yacht as much as if you worked hard and put in time and hours and dedication to getting this yacht. So monk mode works because it turns discipline into your default. It's not something that you're going back and forth negotiating about. This is now your baseline. Even on bad days, you make sure you show up and you put in the effort and the inputs that's going to push the needle forward. So I'll say all that to say that 6 months of monk mode didn't just change my results. It changed what I tolerate and what I allow to affect me. So when you move distractions long enough, you never want to go back, because average starts to hurt physically. It starts to feel uncomfortable. Like, I would never let myself stay here in this position. And this isn't a forever thing. It's only for a season. It's a reset, a recalibration. And if you feel like you're capable of more, but your life doesn't currently reflect that, it's not that you need more motivation. You need a better system. And so on this channel, I help men build discipline structures that actually help stick no matter what pain or what problems you're going through. And if that's something that you do want help with, subscribe to my channel, tap the like button so more people that need help and want more clarity can all join on this tribe that I'm building together in this community. And I will see you guys on the next video, man.